All right, classic. How do you get started in property if you've got no money? Now, we go over this every now and again just to remind you, because nobody starts in property with all the money they need to buy all the houses they want. Many people look at property as a way to get out of a day job that they really don't like and to get out of their current financial circumstances and get to financial freedom, but really are only just making the month meet the end, the income meet the end of the month. And so there's no extra, is there? And that, people, is the rat race. So I understand if you haven't got enough money to get started in property. I was the same. I did pull some money out of my mortgage. I had a personal house, but I definitely didn't have enough money to buy all the houses that I've bought. We ended up doing over 200 deals. So there are a couple of ways. Now, a lot of people look at rent to rent. I don't want you doing rent to rent, with one proviso. Rent to rent for me is simply being a glorified letting agent. You don't have control particularly over the repairs of the house. And if a house is in disrepair, the tenants move out and you have contracted with the landlords to manage that house for 5 years, you're stuck. But the biggest problem, I think, with rent to rent is that your time is sucked up in having discussions with tenants about, could you stop smoking marijuana? We had that last week, but not a rent to rent, a house that I own, and it's actually my team that run it. Could you stop actually putting foil over the fire alarms because that is super dangerous? Or could you actually pay your rent? Or could you replace the light bulbs? Or can you keep it clean? All of that stuff. Tenants take a significant amount of time, which is why, as you build your property portfolio that you own, I want you to either have an amazing team that does all your lettings for you, or I want you to outsource to a letting agent. You notice? I'm only happy for you to manage tenants if they are tenants of properties you own. The one proviso is one of my friends, Francis Dolly, brilliant guy. If you are so insistent on doing rent to rent, I can't dissuade you otherwise. He's a brilliant guy. So if you need training, go to Francis Dolly. But rent to rent generally sucks all your time, and time is the game changer. So, and therefore then you're having a conversation with a tenant about, could you please keep this house clean, or can you change the light bulb? Whereas me or one of your competitors or somebody who wants to get to financial freedom is sourcing a deal with 75 grand profit or raising 100 grand. Now, who's going to get richer faster? It's certainly not the person arguing about the light bulb, is it? It's going to be the person finding the discounted deals and working with an investor. So, back to the problem. I've told you what I don't want you to do if you've got none of your own money. Now let me tell you what I do want you to do. Deal packaging, deal sourcing. For a couple of different reasons. Number one, you earn really good money, and I hope that pricks your ears up. We used to charge 5%. We had to charge VAT because, we were VAT registered. So really, our investors were paying 6%, but just one of that went to the government. So if you sell a 300 grand house that should be worth 450 because you're a good deal sourcer, like we were, like you will be if you learn how to do it properly, that is 15 grand. You can do that once a week. How about taking in 15 grand every single week? How quickly would you be able to amass a significant amount of money ready to go and buy your own houses? And how quickly do you get paid? Well, as fast as the person exchanges on the property. So from point of finding the property to point of exchange, well, the fastest we ever did was 4 days, but that's not normal. Usually about 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks, at a push 12 weeks, but really should be kind of 8 or 10 weeks. So you start work, 8 weeks later, you're 15 grand every single week if you want to go at that pace. So deal packaging, what is it? It is finding a discounted deal. Now, if you look at some of my other videos, and we've got a playlist that gives you all the finding discounted deals. If you go on my website, we've got a fantastic pack. We've got workshops, we've got masterclasses, and we actually do live events as well. Finding discounted deals is basically finding a deal wholesale, which is discounted to its end value. If you've never done one before, be like, no, that's weird, that doesn't happen. It does. 1 to 2% of all deals being sold are discounted. Auctions are a great supply. Estate agents, 1 to 2% of everything they sell is going to be discounted. I know because we did it ourselves. So typically you'd make 100 phone calls, 25 viewings, 21 offers, you find a discounted deal. So look at my other videos if you want to learn how to do that. Today we're going to assume you have the ability to find discounted deals. Who wants to buy them? Investors. Yeah, but they are too busy earning the money to invest in the properties to have the time to find the deals. So 30% of your time is spent on finding the deals. 30% of your time is spent on getting the investors, and I used to charge them a joining fee to my group. I used to charge them £1,000 because I needed them to be serious about wanting to buy my deals. Because if you said to anybody, like, do you want to buy a deal, 300 grand that's worth 450, everyone puts their arm up. And then you say, right, I found the house, here's the deal, get your money out, and everyone's like, oh, was that me? I don't know what you're talking about. So I used to charge them £1,000 on an annual basis to be part of my group to receive my deals, which meant they did an awful lot of the thinking way in advance. And for you, it means that you've got, I used to have about 50 investors a year, so you've got 50 grand coming in before you open the door, which just pays for some of the stuff you need to be paying for, and probably some team members as well. So it's nice to know there's money coming in. So you've got deals over here, you've got investors over here, you match them up, you take a reservation fee, obviously make sure you're compliant, and I've done other videos on compliance. You take the reservation fee, and 8 weeks later you get paid the balance. They are super happy because you've done a really good job on your deal report. They're going to make themselves a shed load of money, and you have made money fast, made a big pile of cash, ready to get started buying your own houses and property to hit financial freedom. And that is the exact route I took. I did it for deal packaging for 5 years. I always intended to only run the business for a 5-year period because I calculated I'd have been able to buy as many deals as possible during that period with all the money I made to then be financially free, and that's exactly what happened. So you don't need to be doing it forever. It's simply a middle choice before you get to the end result of having a load of houses that pay for you to travel the world and hang out in Barcelona. A couple of things. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. The button's somewhere, just click the subscribe because we get videos on a daily basis, and also have a look at all our playlists because they're all organized nicely for you. And then hop over to my website. We're in Spain, everyone loves talking. Pop over to my website, it's thegoodpropertycompany.co.uk. There's tons of really good stuff on there. I've written very, very detailed, high quality packs for you to download straight away. There's workshops, there's masterclasses, there's a whole load of free stuff as well because I quite like writing for you guys. So, how do you get started in property with none of your own money? Do not go down the blind alley of rent to rent, which is just going to snarl up your time discussing light bulbs and the cleanliness of a shared kitchen. Hit up deal packaging, make a ton of money fast, get those skills of sourcing deals, working with investors, build your own portfolio. Job done. Good luck. A key question is, how do I get started in property? Write yourself a plan. I have written you guys a pack, how to write a business plan and deliver business success in property. You can download it now.